Hey, happy Monday, everyone. Hope you are doing well. It's a new week in April. It is Holy Week. Holy Week, the last days that Jesus walked on this earth before he was crucified. And so the Christian world is remembering and observing this week as one of the most important weeks in Christianity. And this is In the Raw, Unscripted, Unpracticed, Unedited Conversation. And we are in the middle of the sayings of Jesus, the things that he said while he was here on earth. And we are in chapter 5, verse 40 of Matthew, chapter 5 of Matthew, verse 43 and 44. Sermon of the Mount. I think we've talked about this. Several things that he said during this time. Very important teaching that Jesus did. He established the kingdom of heaven here on earth when he spoke at the Mount. And he says in this passage, "You have heard that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." Wow, that is a very difficult thing to do. He's referring to the law and what was written in the Old Testament, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. It was all about conquering and the people of Israel were conquering the lands and taking what God had given them. And so they had a lot of enemies. And so Jesus is saying now this is what we need to do now. And it's what I call an illogical logic, because it's Jesus's logic or the kingdom of heaven's logic, but it's illogical to us. He says, "I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." I mean, who's ever heard of, loving your enemies? If you have enemies, then the last thing you want to do is love them, right? But excuse me, and even pray for them. But Jesus is saying, you need to love your enemies. You need to have compassion for them. If they're your enemies, if they're going against you, they're in another translation it says, love those who curse you. And we can think about people that curse us, people that desire wrong for us or desire evil for us, or people that say things to us that will offend us, right? Things that will make us will hurt our feelings, and we can refer to them as enemies, right? And he says, you need to love those people. You need to have compassion towards those people. You need to be you need to understand that you were probably there at one point, and then or maybe you are still in that where you also curse others, or so he's saying love those people. And it doesn't make sense, really. Pray for those who persecute you. Why should I pray for somebody who's after me? Why should I pray for somebody who's trying to get to me, right? But he's saying, pray for those who persecute you. Why is he saying this? Why is he using this illogical logic? Why is this Jesus's logic? Well, because he's about unity, and he's about, we all are in the same, we're all in the same situation. We all have sins. We all do bad things. We all do things that are not, pleasing to God. So, we need to understand that, we are our own enemies, basically, And so he's really saying, love yourself, pray for yourself. And when you start doing that, you will change. You will change, and then others will see that you've changed, and they will also start to change. So that's the whole premise for this. Love yourself, pray for yourself, and then start doing that for the rest of the people around you that you may not agree with, that you may not see eye to eye with, and that's going to be a blessing for you. When you see others with compassion, you don't see them as enemies, you don't see them as people that are against you, but you see them with compassion, you know, and you say, hey, you know, they're going through something and that's why they're acting that way, you will live better. And so he was saying this for us, not for others. He was saying that so that we can live better, so that we don't have, you know, when we hold grudges, it really affects us more than anybody else. And that's what he's saying. All right. Well, I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing week. We will talk to you soon.